And we're live.
Very well. We are live, guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We are literally jumped at 2,000 users today. And yeah, welcome everybody to the first 2023 MetaMask Snaps community call. And yeah, we're super excited. Manbir and I, everybody from ETH India Hackathon winners, we are here. We're ready to show you what we can build those snaps. And again, welcome everybody. Thanks for your patience. We are 5 minutes late. We had some technical difficulty, but everything is recording. We are live, and we will share a bunch of like good resources afterwards. So let's start. So the structure of this call will be around 1 hour. We go through like specific like what are snaps, who are we, quick intro. Then we just go actually deep in what's the call is about. Is literally showing what you can build with snaps and how could we show that at the best will be actually like showing what our hackathon winners at ETH India build, and then we'll have like I think around 8 to 10 minutes to show us their snaps. Yeah, so intro and welcome. We just deep dive a little bit what happened in our Snaps developer ecosystem in the past year and in general. We will show you what are quickly. We go through Snaps, and feel free always to ask question in the chat. We keep it open this time because we know that this call is literally for developers, and we really want to have like an interactive session all together. We go through afterwards some demos, and then we also like announce the grants that has been running now for around 4 months with Manbir, and then we have a quick recap on what's going on in the ecosystem, what are we doing next, and which event we will be hacking to. Awesome. I will. I don't know if we will do some intros, but those are the great minds of this call. We have Aro from account Abstraction Snap. We have Gotham from the team MetaGuard Snap. Antarik from the Cosmotic Snap. Super looking forward for this one. And Niraj and Chris for the team PolySnap. Obviously, I don't need to introduce Manbir. But he's a little bit everywhere in all community calls, and myself also like part of like the Everland community team, and very happy to be here and having this call all together. I don't know, Manbir, you want to quickly intro yourself? I see already like your video is on, so why not?
Sure. Thanks for the warm introduction, Francesco. Hey. Hi, everyone. Great to be back. It's great to do this community call on Snaps Showcase, where we feature ETH India bounty winners. And my name is Manbir, and I work as a community manager for MetaMask at ConsenSys. Excited to be here, and let's get it rolling.
Very good, very good, very good. Cool. Awesome. So I would say let's start is 08, wherever you are in which time zone. So let's jump in one slide. What are actually our ecosystem today? What we did and where we are today, right? We mentioned the grants. Manbir will take it away later on, speaking a little bit what happens during this 4 month. But the long story short is that we have launched the MetaMask Grants DAO, where we support Web3 builders. Can be anyone building snaps and building any products. You just need to submit the proposal. Then in the dev ecosystem, what happens is last year, literally like we're full of like hackathons and bounty. We organized like almost around 25 events where we support also different hackathon, not just the ETH Global one. And yeah, we were really like hearing what the community had to do. We are also like spinning a developer ambassador program. We are super excited about this, and we could not reiterate how we are deep in the community because we need those smart developer building new snaps and extend the functionality of what MetaMask is today. Cool. Feel free also to ask any question, and hello everybody that are joining now. We're just going through like the call where we have those amazing hackathon winners that will show up their snaps. Cool. Quickly, let's go and run through what snaps are. obviously for everybody here that here snaps that were launched in Denver. But the TLDR is that with the Snap you can extend the functionality of MetaMask, and how you can do that in a way that can be secured, fully decentralized, and you as users know exactly how the snaps interact with the browser, and you can see everything that is happening in terms of accesses and controls. Obviously, like this is one, there are big three verticals from the developer perspective. We have all the API, the MetaMask mobile SDK, and then Snaps. Snaps, we don't need to tell to our community, but you know probably already that those are one of the biggest feature, and we are really like excited about this because we can empower the community building and enlarging what MetaMask can do today. We will go through later what are the use case and how you can extend those functionality, and also through some examples. Those are three main points. So trustless execution environment, where actually it is running inside MetaMask, zero permission by default. And this is like, I'm always very excited about this because when you interact with the snaps, you always see what is happening with which access the snaps get to the extension, and it's fully transparent. And it's interesting also to know that the snaps can have its own API, and it's also like I also tell developers to check out our API playground. We can also like show and send some links after the call. But the long story short is that with the Snap you can have your own API. Check also the transaction API that we launched back last year, and yeah, so that's also like a way to interact with external APIs that could empower the power to build a Snap. This is how a snaps look like when I spoke about controls, right? And you will see, and fully transparent, you will see what are the steps, even accessing the internet, it will be showed, right? So this is like a way to also empower the end users to see what actually like what interaction there is to a snap. So here we see a fetch and display transaction inside, and we see access the internet, fully transparent. Cool. How this works? So it's not that difficult. There are three main sources in the npm package. You have the source code, and this is like a JS and TypeScript and Wasm. It's always normally you will see even in the mono repo that we are giving out to build a basic snap in hackathons. You will always see a manifest that it's showing as snap.manifest.json, and then you have a package.json. Everything is built into a JavaScript file, and obviously, like I said in the slide, we are also providing a bundler, but most important, we have also some links where you can see the mono repo that you can build your first snap. And feel free to everybody to shoot those links in the chat so that our user can see what we're speaking about. So how we are envisioning distributing, those are 6 main steps. So you publish a snap to npm.js, right? You deploy a dep to invite users to install the snap. And when a dep invokes your snap, MetaMask will prompt user to install your snap. So it's quite easy. The long story short is that all those snaps that we have today are all published in npm.js. After you install, this is what is happening. And by the way, I don't know how many people know Flask, but Flask is the way to go where you build a snap. And basically what's happening when you install the snap, you will see those snaps active or inactive. You see that in the blue bottom in the Flask setting. And basically what's happening afterwards that other dApps can use your snaps too. So in theory, like you can see where the snap is deployed, and you can also like interact with any dApps out there. So that's the power of also like having a snap that everybody in the community can use it. So speaking about use case, this is just like a really TLDR. There are multiple that we're thinking about. This is a great slide from our colleague Christian Montoya, and I will really say that I'm excited about different use case. Obviously, we will see in our hackathon winner showcase some non-EVM compatible snaps, how some snaps interacting with different ecosystem like Cosmos, Filecoin, and this is super exciting. So we're also have layer 2 snaps, security snaps, so account abstraction, MPC snaps for better onboarding and account recoverability. Communication snap, this is also very exciting. We saw hackers actually building snap for notification when an event is triggered, I get notified, or even chat snap where you send actually instead sending a transaction fully encrypted, you're able to send directly a message. And yeah, state channel chains, APIs, those are great. Like the transaction API one, it's a good use case. And I'm also very excited on identity. That literally, I think back in I think in Bogota, one team built a recovery account recovery snap where you literally use different accounts to recover your third account. It was not working with emails, was directly working with Ethereum wallets. That was super exciting. Cool. We don't need to tell everybody, but as you can interact directly with external APIs, we have unlimited, yeah. There is basically like you can do everything on that side. We're also exciting not just on notification, display costume confirmation. That's also quite interesting. If you're going in the MetaMask extension, you can see what's displayed directly in the snap. But we're exciting also when, and this is like also on the roadmap, how you can costume interactive and build interactive UI directly on the snap, and also like schedule action with Chrome jobs. I think that's a little bit like a sneak peek of what's happening, but obviously like we're doing everything to not just have you powered and build snaps on Flask, but also like empower the community to use the snaps that the community is building. Cool. I think let's jump actually in the most important part of the on the conversation. We have 4 great demos as we specified before, and yeah, I will invite Hiro with the account abstraction snap on stage, and awesome. Take it away. And for everybody, just quick housekeeping. Feel free to ask question directly in the bottom on in the middle. There is an ask question, and we are able also to answer your question there. And I'm excited because I see more people joining the call. So here, take it away and show us what you build during ETH India. Welcome.
Okay. Hi.
Oh, by the way, feel free to introduce yourself super quick so that the audience know who you are and maybe who you build the snap with.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Hilo, and we are building snaps, and I would like to share my screen, but the crowdcast says too many video sources. The stream is limited
Francesco, can you stop sharing so that
Oh
probably
yes,
Hiro
for
could. Yeah.
sure. Let me do it. There you are.
Okay, then I would like to share my screen. Just a moment,
All
please.
big faces now.
Yeah. Okay. Then can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Hi, this is Hilo. Today we are going to introduce a snap which democratized account abstraction, EIP 4337. I'm a co-founder at a company called A42, and we are building Web3 smart lock that utilizes NFT and ENS in real life. In the process of building our product, we realized that the biggest problem is the loss of the key, which is the wallet. That's why we decided to focus on account abstraction, which can have lots more features, and MetaMask Snap. But first, let me share our concept video created by Yusuke, one of our team members and an artist. The video illustrates the abstraction of MetaMask in a creative way. Yeah, it's very cool, isn't it? Okay. Account abstraction has long been a dream of Ethereum, but currently it can only be handled by experts due to its difficulty. From users' point of view, to use contract wallets, they sometimes cannot use their usual wallets such as MetaMask and need to install another wallet that supports account abstraction, which is a pretty bad UX. From developer's perspective, to create transaction that supports account abstraction, it is necessary to write a bunch of code, and also it requires in-depth knowledge. It should be more easy. So Snaps makes it easy to integrate and use account abstraction and democratize it for all the users and developers in the crypto world. Users can send transactions from EOA, externally owned account, and from contract wallet using MetaMask, which they are accustomed to using. Developers only need to write a few lines of code to call the Snap that execute AA-compliant programs without the need to write a bunch of code for it. Okay, let's go into live demo. In this demo, we are going to demonstrate from creating the contract wallet from EOA and transfer native tokens from contract account to the arbitrary address. At first, you need to connect to your MetaMask Flask and install the Snap. Then you need to connect to your contract wallet. Here we go. So you can see my EOA address, which is the owner of the abstract account, and the abstract account is the contract wallet. Since the contract wallet address is deterministic, even though it has not yet been deployed, you can know your address. And to initiate your transaction at first time, you need to fund some ETH to your contract wallet because it pays gas fee for the transaction. So I will send like 0.1 ETH to my contract wallet. In the next step, we are going to transfer some ETH from contract wallet to the another wallet where contract wallet deployment happens at the same time. Okay, below the balance. Okay, here. So I would like to send 0.05 ETH to my contract account to my EOA account. So 0.05. And the snap shows the confirmation pop-up. To interact with contract wallet, the owner needs to sign a message for the transaction. But it is important to know that the owner does not execute any transaction. I will explain this later. So let me give you an overview of EIP 4337 where the transaction is being completed. So this is the overview of the EIP 4337 and the actors and terminology. And contract wallet is the account contract sending a user operation. And the user operation is a structure that describes the transaction to be sent on behalf of a user. And a bundler is a node that bundles multiple user operations from multiple users and create a transaction. An entry point is a contract to execute bundles of user operations. And this is a simplified flow. The owner, in this case EOA, creates user operation object to interact with contract wallet and sign it. And the owner sends user operation object to the bundler node. And bundler node bundles multiple user operations and bundler create a transaction. And entry point executed bundles of user operation. And if the contract wallet has not yet been deployed, it will be initialized at your first user operation. Okay, let's check if the transaction is included below the balance. Okay, balance is changed. Check if my contract account is deployed. Okay, my contract is also deployed. Everything's worked. Perfect. So, as you can see from this code comparison, the writing codes for AA compliant transaction can be greatly simplified by using Snap. On the right side, you can see that it takes over 100 lines of code to execute a simple transfer transaction. On the left side, using Snap, it is reduced to just 15 lines of code. This is a significant difference and very developer friendly. Okay. Our goal is to create a user-friendly interface for wallets in real life, and we are also closely monitoring the development EIP 4337, which is still in draft stage. And furthermore, we are developing a product that uses NFC cards as keys for contract wallets, and we are thinking to connecting it with MetaMask Snap. Lastly, we would like to share some tips to develop MetaMask Snap. As MetaMask Snap continues to develop new features and has many breaking changes, it is important to always stay up to date and be aware of these changes, and make sure to read the documentation thoroughly. We had some issues recently with our Snap due to the breaking changes, but we were able to resolve it by following the documentation. In our case, the problem was a buffer, a Node.js module, and the solution was patch package on the document. And this is our technology stack. So that's all for today. Thank you. Okay.
Nice. Super
Awesome.
interesting. So technology Slack that I see there, you have obviously Flask. Did you guys use the monorepo to build on?
Yeah, I use the monorepo. Yeah.
Nice.
It's very
Nice.
useful.
Cool. Awesome. Any feedbacks like how was the building the Snap during ETHIndia for 48 hours? Did you add some sleep?
Yeah, actually, we didn't sleep at that day because this was our first time to develop MetaMask Snap. But the documentation was very useful, and we can build this product during hackathon. It was a very great experience for us. Thank you for that.
Nice, nice, awesome. Anything that you would like to have for Snaps in the future, like some feature that will help you with the build?
Yeah, actually, in the hackathon, we only implement small features of account abstraction. So in the next step, we would like to build more account abstraction features on our snaps. Yeah.
And anything that you would like to share for people out there who are just getting started with snaps? Any tips?
Yeah,
or...
the snap is very interesting and very useful, and because everyone is get used to using MetaMask, so it's a great way to develop kind of wallet features. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Ira, for that. And looking forward to see you in other hackathons and sending proposal to the Grants DAO for building further.
Yeah.
Cool. No, awesome for that. So let's invite our next guest from the MetaGuard Snap, Gotham. I hope I pronounced it correctly. I don't know if you are in the room. But and by the way, we are also sharing, thanks Alex for sharing this. We're also sharing different blog posts that I build basically following the Snap also for the audience, and feel free also to read this out. You have also like a bunch of resources from the repo, from the video, and different like ETH global resources that they were shared building the Snap. Cool. I don't know where we are, Manbir, with Gotham. Is Gotham around?
Yep, to me it says Gotham has accepted and is connecting, but is there someone else on his team as well that we can invite?
Oh, that I don't know. I know that after MetaGuard we have Cosmotic, Antarik, and Niraj with PolySnap. Maybe one of the two guys, and we can just have MetaGuard presenting afterwards.
Okay, so can we have some other team? Because
yes,
I'm
Antarik?
not sure if Gotham is having any issues.
Yes. Do you see Antarik there?
Nope. Can you ask Gotham, Antarik, and rest of the people to say a hi in the chat?
Yes. Let's see what's going on. This is why we talk 30 minutes before the call to do everything right. But it's like building and having demos. And oh, I see Gotham having trouble connecting from MetaGuard. Maybe let's see if Antarik or Niraj will say.
Okay, Gotham, I have invited you again, so can you just try rejoining?
Let's see. Oh, look.
Oh, awesome. Gautam is here.
Gautam is here. Awesome. So welcome, Gautam. Like, show us the MetaGuard, and feel free to, don't no stress. There is no one in the call today. It's just for us. Awesome. Take it away. Cheers.
Hey folks, I think we're having some trouble connecting. I think all the other participants might also have the same problem. So I think you might have to re-invite them once again. So let me
let me know the usernames of them.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I'll be presenting from my team, but for the other teams, okay. All right. So hello, everyone. I'm Gautam, and I'm from Team MetaGuard. MetaGuard is a snap that provides you preventive security insights when you are actually signing any transactions on the blockchain. So I'm here with my teammate Satvik, who is also on the chat. So feel free to ask us any questions throughout the presentation, and we'll try to answer. Okay, let's go. So here's the quick agenda. We have created a very crisp presentation for describing our solution. So we are going to discuss the problem, the status quo with transaction signing on blockchain, what problems people often face, normal users often face while signing transactions. And we are going to discuss a solution, how our Snap actually provides the security insights and how they are going to be helpful. In the next part, we are going to see the demo in action, and finally, we are going to discuss the future plan. Okay. So I think every one of us in the Web3 ecosystem is probably aware of so many scams that go on. Like there is no shortages of such posts. There are rug pulls, there are scam tokens. There's basically DeFi. By its nature, it has also invited a lot of scams. Okay. And while it makes sense for the developers to look into everything, be sensible about all the transactions they're making across blockchain, it's not the best experience for a normal user who is promised something and then the promise is not getting delivered. Okay. So transactions on blockchain, as I said, crypto scams are everywhere. The blind signing is probably the norm. Like you just see in the MetaMask, you just see the from address and the to address and the amount that you are sending. There is probably no way, unless you are very experienced with the transactions or blockchain as a whole concept. You might be sending your precious earned money to something that is scam. There's spam NFTs that you can buy, and then there are unverified and vulnerable security contracts as well, smart contracts as well, sorry. So how do we plan to solve this problem using MetaGuard Snap? So we provide preventive security insights. Okay, first of all, we simulate how a transaction is actually going to go through from a given source address to the destination address, and we validate all the internal step. We do this via local fork of Ethereum and do their actual transaction tracing. Secondly, we use various block explorers like Etherscan to verify the contract source, whether that source is actually verified or not, and highlight that thing for the users who are going to sign the transaction. We use publicly crowdsourced data for scam tokens and NFTs, and we highlight the same thing if you are trying to transact to such an address. Okay. So enough of the talk. Let's quickly go to the demos. This is the home page. Already installed the MetaMask Flask. So this is these are all the permissions that are Snap accesses. And let's try to do a legitimate transaction in the first go. Okay. So I'm gonna, let's say, transact on Uniswap. Okay. I'm going to connect my wallet. Right. So here's a new tab called MetaGuard. It's going to load some transaction insights for you. Okay. I think the demo gods are not with us today, so it's failing. But just a second. Let me try it again. see. Okay, so it's taking too long. I'll come back to this. So this is a legitimate transaction, and our snap is going to show that hey, this is a legitimate transaction. The source code is verified, and you're trying to do a genuine thing. And let's take a look at one of the potential scams. So I'm going to play a recorded video instead, because you're hoping that something like this might happen. Okay.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Yeah. So this is one of the websites called ccharge.io, and it looks like a very legitimate website. Right? Everything is detailed, and they're trying to get users to buy their tokens. Okay. So we're going to do this, and okay, we're going to get some transaction insights on that. And here we crowdsourced this data from Reddit that this particular website, this particular host might be a scam, and this Snap also provides the link to that Reddit post, and there is also a simulated trace for this transaction. So we have highlighted the potential scammy tokens in yellow so that we can take a look while you're signing the transactions. So yeah, this is one of the potential scam tokens. So Snap tells you that hey, this might not be a safe idea, so you can go back. Okay. Let me try. So this is one of the scam tokens, and I'm going to try connect my wallet and do a transaction on this. So my wallet is connected. Let's say announce ownership. Okay. This was the old transaction. Yeah. So we can see that this the Snap identified that we're trying to transact to a blacklisted token. This is flagged, and this is the trace URL. If you open this trace URL, yeah. So we're highlighting that this token is blacklisted. Do not try to transact, and yeah, that's it. I'm gonna try this once again to show the success case quickly. Okay. I'm going to reject the old transaction. Okay, I think there's some issue with the success criteria. I don't have a video for it, but yeah.
Yeah, that kind of things are expected during live demos, so it's perfectly fine.
Sorry about that. Okay. So yeah, that was the demo piece, and in the future, next step for us is to add support for multiple chains onto the Snap, and we are looking forward to the MetaMask's UI element features that is coming soon to actually crowdsource the data right from Snap for the scam contracts and tokens. And we plan to add some rigorous static analysis of smart contract code wherever it's available to highlight vulnerabilities without even trying the simulation. And then again, strengthening our scam databases by increasing the number of sources that we ingest. So we can look into public sources like tweets and Reddit posts, and then basically strengthen our scam database to show users that there might be a potential scam behind this. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you for listening. For any questions or feedback, feel free to ping us on Twitter.
That's super cool, Gautam. Quick question: are you guys also will have in the future like some cross-checking with like phishing libraries from like ChainSafe, these kind of companies?
Yeah. So right now, I think we are using Alchemy to get the spam NFT data. And we're using public cloud storage as well. So yeah, we can totally integrate these different providers for for the phishing as well.
Okay. And for the build, you guys use the monorepo. How you started? Did you use
Yes.
Snaps before?
No, we
Before
have used Snaps before we started with the monorepo. Yeah.
monorepo, and so how you onboarded? You went directly through the documentation, or you use
So we went through the code, the existing code. We tried to reference some things. We went through the documentation. We learned more about the handlers, and that's how we.
And did you get started with the documentation itself? Was it easy to
Yes,
get started with that? Okay.
yes,
And would you
documentation
recommend,
is fairly good. Yeah.
those resources to the people who have started? And any tips for the people who are just getting started with Snaps?
So yeah, for sure, take a look at the monorepo. It has some interesting examples. Try to read the code. I think it's super helpful, and the documentation is going to be even better. Yeah. So I think that's my idea. I try to start by reading the code and then move on to documentation where necessary.
Awesome. Great to hear that. Francesco, good to have you back.
That's great. That's great. No, awesome. Thanks for those recommendation. I think every hackathon we step up our games also in terms of like onboarding more like developers like from scratch to Snaps. So that's a great also feedback to hear. So awesome. And what are the hackathon next? You plan to be there, Gotham, before we just jump
So
to the next step.
yeah, I think there is a ETH for all hackathon that is happening here in India that we are planning to participate. Yeah, I think it's in Feb.
Nice,
So
nice,
thank you so much
Perfect.
awesome.
for your contributions. Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, Gautam. Thank you, Gautam. Cool, cool, awesome. So we have two other snap to show. So we have the Cosmotic and the PolySnap. So let's see, Manbir, if we have Antarik here. And super sorry for the pronunciation again. I think I met this young hacker back in the days, and now like I was super happy that he was part of ETH India. And I don't know how many hours he sleep, but he's definitely built a good non-EVM compatible snap with Cosmos. But I let him like intro a little bit more the snap and what he built during this hackathon.
Awesome.
So
Antariksh has joined. Hey, hi Antariksh.
welcome, welcome,
Welcome.
welcome.
Yeah, so I'll share my screen first.
Sure.
Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yes, perfect. Feel
Yeah,
free
hi.
also to introduce yourself, huh?
Yeah, hi. My name is Antariksh, and I was a hacker at ETHIndia, and I found MetaMask Snaps interesting, so I went ahead and built Cosmotic. Currently, I'm also a developer ambassador at a company called Kudos, so that also gave me some idea as to what I was building. Yeah, so Cosmotic is basically a Cosmos wallet inside MetaMask using Snaps. So MetaMask, as we all know, is a great wallet. I have it installed on all of my browsers and I use it frequently. But MetaMask lacks in the chain ecosystems that it supports. As far as I know, it does not support the Cosmos ecosystem, which is a bummer for me as I work at a company called Kudos, which is a Cosmos blockchain. So I identified that and I thought that there had to be some way for MetaMask snaps to support Kudos, Cosmos blockchains. So that was something I tried to investigate. And trust me, I had many sleepless nights working on this. I couldn't sleep and it took all my time, but it was worth it because it works. With Cosmostic, you can sign transactions, you can send or receive tokens, you can look at all of your transactions and your transaction history. And something that I'll introduce in the future, hopefully, is the ability to actually work with smart contracts. You can sign smart contracts and all. That's also very interesting. So that's basically the problem. Um, as we know, MetaMask is the most popular browser wallet right now. And so supporting Cosmos would not just be beneficial for the MetaMask community because, well, it would have support for Cosmos chains, but most importantly, Cosmos users or Cosmos developers will also have access to MetaMask. So it works both ways, and it would be beneficial for both the communities and ecosystems. So I have a small demo video I couldn't get my demo up and running due to a few issues while building the snap. I'll talk a bit about that towards the end. But yeah, so this, just saying, is the initial page. Since the wallet itself is a snap, this is more of a demo page that uses the snap and implements some of its features. So if you were to use this snap and to connect with it, you do it like this. We can go ahead and connect to MetaMask by clicking on this button. Once we do that, MetaMask would pop open right here. So MetaMask pops this open, the appropriate permissions as normally, and it would, these are the permissions that we access. You would allow it to approve and install. After confirming the boxes and checking all the boxes, it would connect, and it would automatically. Yeah. So as you can see, this is what happens. So after it automatically connects, what it does is it takes your public key, and the private key that MetaMask gives us, and based on both of those, we essentially generate an address. As you can see, this is not your 0x prefixed EVM address. Instead, this is a kudos address. So currently Cosmotic is only integrated with the kudos blockchain, because I need that blockchain ecosystem, so I was familiar with it, so I went ahead and integrated it with that. But of course, in the future, we would work with other chains and integrate those as well. And as you can see, it is prefixed with kudos. So if you have worked in the Cosmos ecosystem, you would know that there is something called a BEC32 address, BECH 32. That address format is prefixed with a human readable name of the chain itself. And in this case, it's kudos. We also have the public key. One thing you'll notice is we don't show the private key, which of course we don't expose to the end application, because that would be a breach of privacy. And it also shows the balance which it fetches from the chain itself. Take you to this website, to this page. This page, there are a lot of interesting things here. You can see there's also, if you can see, you can send tokens through this user interface. You can sign messages, if any random message, it also allows you to send tokens. And as you can see, so this is something, when you scroll down, you'll see a bunch of your transaction history. So this is my personal kudos testnet account that I use quite frequently when developing smart contracts. So I've done a lot of these transactions, sending and getting kudos tokens. So as you can see, our application does something that no other Cosmos wallet actually does till now, which is show all the raw events from your wallet. Not even Kepler, which is arguably the most popular wallet in the Cosmos ecosystem. It does not show you the raw logs or the events which a developer may want to view. It shows the event type, the receiver spender, the values. All of this comes from the RPC node API from Kudos, directly from the blockchain. It's buffering. Specific. So I'll just skip to a part where we expose the private key in our JSON RPC API. Yeah. Let's look at a demo now. So let's go ahead and sign type something that we want to sign. Type something like "Hello ETH India 2022." We can go ahead and sign the message. Once we click on that, MetaMask should pop up. So we sign the message just like normally, saying, "Do you want to sign this message and the address?" We can approve this, and we sign it, and we get the signature, which you can use to pass signed messages in communication. This is also the basis for transaction signing, which will come as part of our future plan. And it then gives us a signature, which is the signed message. I'll just skip over to. Then we also have the ability to send tokens. Now, sending tokens is a big feature, and it took us a lot of time and challenges to implement this, but it's totally worth it. So first of all, I'll come here and I'll first deposit some tokens into this account. So I'm here using. So what I'm doing now is I'm just depositing tokens from a separate address into that account to show you that the balance changes.
The Kudos noded CLI in order to send tokens from one account to another. Now I will be sending approximately these many tokens. So let's see if this changes. So let's go ahead and hit enter.
So now what
This
will
will
happen
take some
is
time to transfer the tokens.
the balance will increase by about 5 times 10 to the power, I don't know, 4, 5.
And now the tokens are transferred. Now it doesn't update in real time, so we're gonna have to reload the page. Once we
There's no real-time reloading,
we'll
which
have to connect to MetaMask again,
is something
since the
that
session
can be
is
part of
not
a future
stored.
plan. Wallets don't implement
The
that
DApp, on the
generally.
other hand, who use Cosmotic can choose to store the session in local storage or some other device. As you can see, we now have an extra 5 here,
And yeah, as you can see,
which
it
is
increased,
thanks to
which
this.
was what we aimed to. So the
That's
balance, as you can see, does
So now that we
change, and
can
we
see
can
that the
receive
balance changes,
tokens, and we can see that
let's go
in our
ahead and also
demo app.
try and look and try and see the balance on the blockchain, on the chain
Now we
itself.
try and show the same balance on the chain
I've
using the
got,
chain's native CLI
this right
token.
here.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll just explain as we go along. Yeah. So as you can see, I'm simply changing this address with the address from the dashboard demo application, which is this address, the address we logged into right now. And the same, we do indeed get the same value on both end. Now, let's take a look at, actually, we also see the same in the event logs, which is also really important. We can see the raw events, which is coin received, coin spent, and transfer, which is common every time you send some tokens. The same happens with all Cosmos chains. The same events are emitted. So yeah, just a verbose explanation over that. So now let's attempt to send tokens to a recipient. So you just enter in the amount. Currently, the denomination is set to A kudos, which is the kudos tokens for the fee. So it's for the gas fee. So it's a sub-denomination under the kudos tokens. So that's what it's set to because that's easier to work with. Yeah, so we're going to send 90 kudos, A kudos tokens to this recipient, which, as you can see, is different from this address. So they are both distinct wallets, distinct addresses, accounts. Once we send the token, it will take some time, and then it shows us a pop-up transaction. Do you want to send the tokens? And just so you know, the sending tokens and the signing both are implemented natively by us. We don't use MetaMask in that at all. We have implemented the logic using a bunch of other libraries that handle signing. And yeah, so we've approved it. And now in the event logs as well as in the terminal, we should see 90. Yeah, so we also get a notification pop-up. Now we'll query the bank balances, and as you can see, it was 710 and now it's 800. Clearly 90 kudos tokens were received by this user. Yeah, so that was the demo of the application, how it worked. Really, most of it is just the snap. Yeah, so most of it is just the snap logic, which is exposed through the RPC API. So don't focus too much into the user interface itself. Yeah.
That's super cool. Did you use the monorepo or how you
Yeah,
build it?
I used the monorepo initially, but then I removed the user interface, React.js website that was inbuilt. I removed that and I built my own. But yeah, I did reference some more monorepo code. I also used the file snap, which is by ChainSafe, developed by ChainSafe. It was really important while working.
So you think was also having those example snaps before starting hacking on your snap
Yes,
was
I
useful?
think documentation is great, but the example applications were even better. They were invaluable, because it's a new technology. Seeing the examples that actually run and seeing how they're called, the documentation sometimes misses a few functions or something. So it's more concrete and it helps in developing the thing. So yeah, I referenced the file snap a lot because it also implemented the same thing, Filecoin in Filecoin support for MetaMask.
Awesome. And
Awesome.
I'll also ask another question. So would you suggest anything for people of your age, people who are young, who are just out there getting started with building snaps or getting started with hackathons and things like that? What would you suggest to them?
I would say I would say that you know, if you are at a younger age, then you may feel a bit jealous from people who have teams or who are there with companies, right? I felt that personally at ETH India as well. So I would just say keep working, keep developing. It doesn't matter if you're alone or if you're doing it solo. Just hack solo, and yeah, everything will be great. And keep learning. Don't don't stop on the account of hackathons.
It's
That's
important. It's important to not get jealous, to not get insecure, and to get inspired instead,
yeah,
right? From the
yeah,
teams out there. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. 100%. Also the fact, like solo hacking is always more difficult, but in the same time, the things that you want to do, and it's literally working more efficiently sometimes. And it's like a step by step, right? Like each hackathon, you're also getting better. And I think that's also the great way to grow as
It
a
was
developer.
6 a.m. when I was recording this video. That's when I, on the
Wow.
day we were supposed to present it. So I slept for like an hour or so.
Well done, Chapo. Yeah.
That happens when you're doing it alone, but you finish it and it feels great once you finish it.
Awesome. Yeah, no,
Awesome.
awesome. Thanks, I'm Tariq also for like you are also one that I think like you send a proposal for the MetaMask Grants DAO, and good luck also with that, and great to have you also on this call, and looking forward for the Twitter space that is coming next in the next days, and yeah, so thanks again. And so we are a little bit like on time, but I mean, let's keep that going. We really like the content, what's being presented, and let's invite Niraj with PolySnap. I don't know if you see it, Manbir,
I see
in the
he
room.
has already joined. Yes.
Nice,
Yeah.
perfect, awesome.
Awesome.
Welcome, Niraj. Feel free to
Welcome,
introduce
Neeraj.
yourself and show us what you build during ETHIndia.
Yeah, hi guys. I'm Neeraj, and I and Chris both work for PolyRep DAO, and we are also part of the Dior DAO. So yeah, let's start with the product that we build, PolySnap. Let me share my screen. Yeah, so there were some difficulties while rerunning the demo before this call. So we are going to basically present the video that we have recorded at the day of hackathon. And yeah, let's start with the video. Wait, I need to unmute it.
We are PolySnap. PolySnap allows you to invoke.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, perfectly.
There is a little bit. It's good.
Okay.
Any PolyRep Wasm wrappers on the fly.
Wait,
Direct
there's the
Any
audio is
buzzword,
getting
any
doubled.
buzzwords.
Okay.
There's some redundancy.
Yeah. There's kind of an echo.
Okay. I don't know. How can I help with that?
If not, you can also send the video in the chat and run through like without the sound, if you prefer. There is a little bit an echo.
Yeah. What if I mute my mic? Will it work?
I think it won't work in that case.
Okay.
But just try playing now once.
Right. Let's start with MetaMask Snaps. MetaMask Snaps is a framework built by
Okay. I'll share the video link in the description.
Try to mute. Try to mute.
Yeah, try to
yourself.
mute your mic and then just play the video.
the MetaMask team that allows you to extend the capabilities of the MetaMask wallet by installing the.
Does it work?
Yeah, it's working perfectly now.
Okay.
We are PolySnap. PolySnap allows you to invoke any PolyWrap Wasm wrappers on the fly directly inside of MetaMask. Too many buzzwords, right? Let's start with MetaMask Snaps. MetaMask Snaps is a framework built by the MetaMask team that allows you to extend the capabilities of the MetaMask wallet by installing the snaps directly inside of MetaMask. Pretty cool, right? But do you know what's cooler? Running arbitrary code securely inside of the MetaMask wallet without needing to write new snaps. And PolySnap does exactly that. To achieve this, PolyWrap uses PolyWrap and IPFS technology. PolyWrap allows you to write secure, scalable, and composable Wasm modules, which can be deployed directly to IPFS and then can be fetched and executed at runtime by a PolyWrap client. By using these technologies, we're able to create PolySnap that runs any wrappers built with PolyWrap and deployed to IPFS directly inside of MetaMask with just a simple JSON RPC call. Now let's jump into a working demo. As a programmers, we all love the Fibonacci numbers, but what's more interesting than getting the Fibonacci numbers is getting them using MetaMask. For that, we're going to use the Fibonacci Wasm wrappers that's deployed to IPFS. You can check it out on wrappers.io. Wrappers.io is a service that's being run by PolyWrap, which displays all the IPFS deployed wrappers. So let's find the Fibonacci Wasm wrapper. It contains some files. Wrappers.io displays a list of the methods implemented by the wrapper, a GraphQL schema that declares the interface of the wrapper, and it has information about its deployments. So let's copy this IPFS hash, go over to our snap. We'll install the snap first. To execute this wrapper, we're going to need to provide an IPFS URI, the method we want to execute, and let's provide some arguments. Let's get the first 10 Fibonacci numbers. So when you try to invoke any wrapper, MetaMask will ask for confirmation. Once you confirm, it will fetch the wrapper from IPFS and execute the specified method. And as you can see, here's the Fibonacci numbers. Fibonacci numbers are cool, but let's look at a more real-world use case like calling the CoinGecko API. The CoinGecko wrapper implements a method for every CoinGecko endpoint. And we're going to show you how to get the price for any crypto using this wrapper directly inside the MetaMask Snap without needing to reinstall the Snap. And fun fact, this wrapper was written in Rust. So we've already set up the invocation for you. Let's call invoke. And there you have it, the price of Ethereum in Indian rupees. I hope you all had as much fun at ETHIndia as we did. Thank you for watching our video.
Cool, awesome. Thanks
That
so
was
much.
so
You
good.
mind maybe like
Yeah.
sending also the video for the in the chat so that we have that people can run through like directly. But any lesson learned from the experience? How was it? How you guys got started?
Yeah, so we are basically working in the same company called PolyRap. It's basically a DAO, and we are both core contributors there and working in the tool chain. So uh, I also attended the Web3 Dubai, and at there there was also MetaMask team, and they have showcased the MetaMask Snaps, and I got excited about it. And in the ETH India, I got a chance to basically create a project with MetaMask, and yeah, so I decided to basically create this snap where you can basically execute any kind of wrappers that are deployed on IPFS directly inside the MetaMask snap. And this was really interesting because now you don't need to really create so many different snaps, and instead of creating new snaps for every new feature, you can just use the PolySnap and run any code that you have written directly from IPFS.
Nice, very good. And any new feature that we would like to have on building a snap next,
Yeah,
or like some wish list?
yeah, for sure. So we have created kind of roadmap that I can share. So this is a roadmap, and as you can see, phase 0 was like hackathon version, and it's of course completed. And the MVP version, like we had some issues that got fixed because that issue was from MetaMask team, and we had opened the GitHub issue, and they fixed it. And yeah, now we have another issue because of the upgrade, but I think we will also be able to fix that. And after that, like there were other issues from the client side, like open telemetry and other things, but I think that should also be fixed with the new MetaMask update. So yeah, most of the issues are fixed, and we need to basically add the unit test for other things, like MetaMask doesn't support XCOs, so we needed to use the isomorphic fetch, and because of that we need to basically retest everything. And yeah, we also need to add support for Ethereum plugin and other plugins, and yeah, test the plugin compatibility. The next step here is, as you have seen in the video, like we had that pop-up for confirmation before you execute any kind of wrappers, but we want to shift that security to the plugins, because plugin is the main thing where any IO task happens. And this plugin can be something like HTTP plugin, IPFS plugin, or Ethereum plugin, where the IO calls will happen. So we want to shift the functionality of security to plugin level. And for example, now you can imagine, like instead of getting the confirmation about invoking CoinGecko wrapper with this method, like simple price, you would get it when you actually call the HTTP. So when you call the HTTP, you get all the information, like you are calling this URL, you are making this call, like get, post, whichever request you are making, and all the body or parameters or whatever you are providing it. So now you would get more information when the actual IO is happening, and you would be you would have ability to basically allow or disallow it.
Sounds good. No, and also like while you do that, also remind everybody that we have ConsenSys Discord channel just specific for Snaps developer. That's also a great way to trying to solve bugs. And no, awesome. So thank you so much, Niraj, for the PolySnap demo. I'm looking forward to see you in next hackathons. But so let's jump in the next section. I think we are a little bit late, but it's totally worth it. I'm very excited to see those great demos live. And yeah, so next on stage we have Manbir explaining a bit what's going on with the MetaMask Grants DAO. And yeah, take it away. You want me to share or you want to do it?
Yep, if you can share the deck, that would be perfect.
Sounds good. Let me just go through that and share it. And here we are. Thanks, Manbir.
Awesome. Cool. So can we go to the next slide? Awesome. Cool. So making MetaMask the most extensible wallet in the world requires decentralizing efforts to build this out, right? And not only this will accelerate growth for crypto comfortable users, but this will also boost adoption for crypto curious individuals that will have more paths to explore. So we believe the next step in the process is MetaMask Grants DAO. And MetaMask Grants DAO is an employee-driven, consensus-funded DAO that issues grants to developers building impactful experiences within the MetaMask ecosystem. And we seek to support developers across the community to be able to nimbly build on top of the MetaMask ecosystem, while empowering employees to embrace Web3 mechanisms and contribute as one consensus. So, in short, MetaMask Grants DAO is an employee-led DAO with the mission of funding the development of high-value projects in the MetaMask ecosystem through a grants program. Now, there are three foundational pieces to this. If you go to the next slide, Francesco. Cool. So there are three foundational pieces. First of them would be employee-led DAO, which is the heart of the DAO that is made up of full-time ConsenSys employees. But we are looking to decentralize over time and add external contributors as well. The next would be the leadership committee, which is the head of the DAO made up of seven individuals responsible for finding high potential projects, creating governance proposals, updating external content, gathering feedback on the DAO, driving improvements to the DAO, and queuing multi-sig transactions. In the event a member of the committee leaves ConsenSys, the remaining members of the committee may fill that seat by majority vote of remaining members on a new member. So we're exploring opportunities for the full DAO to have more input on who sits on this committee in the future. And the third piece would be the secure multisig, which is a multisig controlled by ConsenSys that will manage the token contract and treasury. And the Gnosis safe signers will be responsible for signing transactions on the disbursal of funds, as well as minting/burning of tokens as employees join or leave the company. So can you go to the next slide, Francesco? Awesome. Talking about the grants, so there are two form of grants that the DAO will fund. The first would be the leadership committee grants. These grants are allocated exclusively to the leadership committee to vote on, and any leadership committee member that can make a proposal and proposals with at least 5 yes votes at closing will pass. So the leadership committee grants are intended to provide a quick, easy mechanism, those more closely tied to the grant operations, to ensure the high quality projects that may be overlooked by the full DAO can be funded. Votes will be open for 5 days, and individuals proposing the vote will be responsible for making the case and otherwise taking any actions that they need to win the vote's approval. The second would be full DAO grants. So these grants are allocated for the full DAO to vote on, and any leadership committee member can make a proposal to the full DAO. And proposals with more yes than no votes at closing will pass. Votes will be open for 10 days, and the individual proposing the vote will be responsible for making the case and otherwise taking any actions they need to win the vote's approval. Can we go to the next slide, Francesco? Awesome. So there are some DAO objectives, and these would be to understand, fund, and engage. Understand how to operate a token and DAO as a company. We aim to begin the process of progressive decentralization of the MetaMask Grants DAO by exploring a token-based governance model that allows full DAO members that are ConsenSys employees to vote on full DAO grant proposals. And more than 50% of DAO's initial budget is allocated through tokenized proposal voting within the first 3 months of operation. Next up, funding meaningful projects that provide value to the MetaMask ecosystem. Each grant can be broken into multiple disbursements with specific milestones depending on the size of the grant. The third objective would be to engage the DAO members and aim to have 15% of DAO members to participate in at least one governance proposal within first 3 months of operation. Can we go to the next slide, Francesco? Okay, so here's the grant reward criteria. So MetaMask Grants DAO is live. If you have participated in one of our hackathons or workshops in the past and are interested in working with us again through our grants program, please reconnect with the team and get in touch. If you have a Snaps idea, we are open with a wish list. And some of our immediate areas of focus would be number one, enabling a multi-chain MetaMask future by adding support for strategic L1 and L2 networks, enabling Ethereum features that will benefit our Ethereum developer community, such as smart contracts, smart contract accounts, MPCs, delegatable authorization, SIWE, custom gas fee enhancements, and so on. Enhancing the user privacy and security that would incorporate transaction insights, phishing prevention, ZK proving, DIDs, and so on. And integrating use cases that are of strategic interest to MetaMask and will help onboard the next 1 billion Web3 participants, such as social and gaming applications. So if you want to bring in your features and APIs to the wallet, let us know. Email us at metamaskgrants@consensus.net and drop us an application, or simply learn more about us and check out metamaskgrants.org. So if you go to the next slide, Francesco, there you go. You can see the link there, metamaskgrants.org. So you'll see a section incorporating overview, governance, announcements, funded grants, and so on, if you visit that website. So be sure to check that out. And over to you, Francesco.
Awesome. Thanks so much for keeping the speed up, Manbir. I feel it's like a racing track here. Let's move to the recap. So what we learned today, right? So we learned about snaps. We saw like what were the winning snaps hackathon hacks during ETH India, and also like just to show you some resources. Check out Flask. Check out Snaps. We have also a good mono repo. We have a wish list that you can see in GitHub discussion, and I think that's mostly it from the resources standpoint. Those are basically the one links that I mentioned. Check out here also the QR code if you want to scan it. But we will make sure that we are also sending out an email with those resources. The Starknet and the Transaction Insight Snap were cool examples. And also make sure to follow a dedicated developer account for MetaMask. And I think that's incredibly important because we also want to push much more and more resources for developers out there building snaps directly. And yeah, and we are super excited about it. So what we will do next? Important is that this is not finished, right? This was the developer community call, especially for showing you the demos. But we have also like from tomorrow on, we have tomorrow and the 30th, we have also like a Q&A with those hackathon winners on a Twitter space. And I remind you also that we're doing monthly general community call where we onboard different like type of topics where also Manbir is leading the effort to, from like self-custody to like how to use MetaMask 101s. So different beginners to advanced topic. Important also to state is that if you're building Snap, you feel comfortable, you're already experienced, you want to build more and evangelize, we're also starting to push an official ambassador program specific for Snaps. And this will be also launched during ETH Denver. So feel free also to jump if you will be there and follow us those information where we will be in next event. As I mentioned, ETH Denver, this is not the only event we will be. We'll be also in Paris Blockchain Week. We have a good events for Tel Aviv next week on building blocks and Starkware. And yeah, super excited. I see like people responding to the chat ambassador program, following Sign Me Up. And it's great to see also such a reactive community. So I think we are there. I want to thank you, everybody. But most important, I want to thank everybody that was behind the scene, responding the questions, organizing all those hackathon winners. And thank you from here for pushing the DAO. And Alex, Christina, Anna, everybody did an amazing job here today. And hopefully next time we will stay in 1 hour. And yeah, I want to Thank you, everybody.
A huge shout
Any
out to
closing words?
Christina, Anna, and the rest of the CS team for being up at such an early morning. So it's like 5 or 6 a.m. I think for them. So huge shout out to them, and thanks
yes.
to all the teams for joining and showcasing their Snaps projects. But Francesco, would you have any closing notes or anything? How can people get connected?
Yeah. No, I'm happy that we kick off the 2023 with this showcase, what people and what basically developers can build on Snaps. I'm excited about next events, next online hackathon. And I also want to remind everybody to check out those specific resources that we will follow up on. Blog posts from those developers that build a Snap, and also to stay up to date, just generally, like I will have like the ConsenSys Discord and checking out what's going on in the Snap channel, because a lot of like bugs that we get, they are very similar, and it's also a great way to interact with us in the chat. And say hi when you are in the next event, or say hi in Discord. Everywhere, it's always a good point of contact. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the week, and see you next community call.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.